individual acquires great power, the use or misuse of that power is everything. Will it be for the greater good, or will it be used for personal or for destructive ends?
The franchise will be based on the popular Age of Apocalypse comic book story arc, in which Charles Xavier dies to save Magneto, resulting in Magneto becoming the leader of the X-Men as the Alpha Mutant Apocalypse emerges to conquer the world. We're gonna have to wait until May 27th, 2016 to see how close the film will be to the comic book story, and for Apocalypse's inevitable world domination to occur. But until then, we are sharing our list of 7 things we think need to happen in the next X-Men movie. Apocalypse is one of the most intimidating forces in the Marvel Universe and needs to live up to his name. This is a foe that possesses molecular self-manipulation, self-proclaimed immortality, teleportation, energy manipulation, technopathy, psionic powers, accelerated healing, genius-level intellect, and superhuman strength. Wow. He can not only defeat his enemy, but also corrupt and enslave them mind, body, and soul. Apocalypse should be the worst thing the X-Men will ever face, so we need to see the full weight and dominance his presence brings to the film. With Oscar Isaac set to play Apocalypse in the film, a more human portrayal is expected, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It will allow us to see his humanity, which will make it more intense and frightening, but we still do need to feel like this is a bigger threat than we've ever seen and be unsure if the X-Men will be able to handle it. Throughout the generations, Apocalypse chooses 4 individuals to brainwash, genetically alter, and endow with new powers, which he dubs the 4 Horsemen. Named after the biblical 4 horsemen, pestilence, war, famine, and death, these powerful beings have included both mutant and non-mutant characters, including Angel, Hulk, Iceman, Wolverine, Gambit, and Spider-Man. Whoever the film's horsemen end up being, they need to not only be intimidating, but we should feel betrayed and horrified that these characters have been violated and twisted in such an evil manner, while at the same time thinking, wow, that's pretty cool. The Horsemen will be doing the bulk of Apocalypse's dirty work, so not only are they going to need to get some good screen time, they also need to bring more to the story than possessed Hawkeye did in the Avengers. We need to see how truly twisted and evil these characters do have to become. Alright, the filmmakers had a very fun time with the 1970s setting of Days of Future Past, and we expect a lot more from the 80s setting of Apocalypse, but don't let the period element weigh down the story. I mean, it's okay to remind us occasionally that yes, we are in the 80s and that time has passed since Days of Future Past, but if it becomes too prevalent, it's just gonna get annoying. There's certainly gonna be enough going on in this movie that it doesn't need to turn into a remember the 80s mutant special. Up next, X-Men First Class was actually considered a novelty by many out there because it featured younger versions of X-Men characters and completely left out the original cast. Days of Future Past gave us the best of both worlds and was successful by blending the old with the new. Apocalypse can be a chance to truly show that this isn't just the younger X-Men, it's the current generation of X-Men. It was cool to see the old cast members make cameos in the last film, but let's officially take off the cinematic training wheels and let this cast of Xavier's gifted youngsters prove to us that they can be astonishing and focus more on the days of the future than the past. The Age of Apocalypse storyline in the comic uses time travel and alternate timelines similar to what we saw in last year's X-Men Days of Future Past. So the film version needs to be diverse enough that we don't get a little case of deja vu. This would be a perfect time to let go of any boundaries or timeline constraints still in place and to once and for all deal with any plot holes and inconsistencies made over the course of all the X-Men films. Now on the flip side, don't let this be something that is simply erased and never happened by the end of the film. It needs to have consequences or none of it will have any relevance. There's nothing wrong with letting your timelines be a little bit wibbly wobbly, but if it becomes a stale gimmick, then we're gonna end up wishing our time hadn't been wasted. I'm just saying. All right, we love Hugh Jackman. He has been an absolutely fantastic Wolverine. He's absolutely iconic in the role, but we've yet to have an X-Men film without his mutton chops, as much as I love them. So Wolverine is essential to the X-Men storyline, but the X-Men can and should maybe attempt to exist without him. We know that yes, he is going to be in the film, but let him be one of the 4 horsemen of Apocalypse and take an antagonistic role in the film, or even kill him off early in a sacrificial way if you can. I'm just throwing it out there. And it could be something to give our Children of the Atom some room to grow without the old guy babysitting. All right, we have arrived at the end, and there is no question that Quicksilver was the breakout star of Days of Future Past, single-handedly increasing the value of the film. The last time we saw a mutant single-handedly steal the show was in 2003's X2 with Nightcrawler's White House attack, and yet we never saw our friendly teleporter on screen again. Sad. We know we're going to see Quicksilver in Apocalypse, but show us that he is more than a flash in the pan, please. Let us see how he fits into team dynamics and not just be comedic relief, but also shape into a hero. You can really explore what makes him tick and delve into his relationship with Magneto. If he is simply another background character, it will truly be an opportunity wasted. All right, you guys, so now that you have seen our list of things that we just think have to happen or need to happen in X-Men Apocalypse, it is time to share your wish list. Head on down to the comments, or you can hit us up on Facebook or on Twitter. We're at Clever Movies, and we love hearing from you. And then when you're done with that, click right over here to find out what 7 things we think need to happen in the other big 2016 X-Men release, Deadpool.